Welcome to the Cube Home Lab Plant and Animal Model Updates. There's plant life, there's animal life, and then there's artificial life, which you can see here, and all of them draw their energy from the sun. And this is one artificial way of drawing the energy from the sun, and you can see what it's achieving in terms of physiology and function here. So having dwelled on that artificial life model, let's come to the plant life models. We have been working with the Cube Home Labs. Cube is Collaborative Undergraduate Biology Education, an offshoot of TFR, and Dr. Mac Arunan is leading, along with a lot of very talented and bright young students of India. And every day they have a chart shala where they discuss all their models. So quickly we'll show you. This is a Sesbania grandiflora just growing, and this is a Ricinus communis fruiting and flowering. Okay, we haven't really done any systematic study of these, begun to, that is. These are the jackfruits that we got from West Bengal in Barashat, and there are some legumes here. This part is crowded, with the net, so I can't show you the transplant model which I wanted to. This is a Sindhura tree, and this is the Brazilian spinach, along with the leaves which have been falling of the Krishna Kadamba, also called as the Mitragaina parviflora. And here you can see some new shoots coming up, and then we have the moringa trees here, and these are the legumes again. So this one here is the tree. Where is the jackfruit tree? Yeah, this one we had gotten from Bangalore, the jackfruit tree, and it hasn't grown much at all. And these are the other two jackfruit trees we had gotten from Bangalore, which have also not grown at all. In fact, they have become smaller. Now, in contrast, this one has come up from a seed. We just brought some jackfruit. We just brought a jackfruit, fruit, a big one, and we planted one of the seeds after eating it, and this is growing well. Now let's go to the other area. This is the south side of the Cube Home Lab. Now let's go to the other side. Now this is a very interesting tree, sweet kind of a star fruit. You can see it's flowering now, and it has recently given fruits which were very sweet, tasty, with a little bit of tange. And that is it. I can see some other interesting plants here which I'm forgetting. I haven't studied them systematically. So we'll go to the other part of the south side, which was the earlier part. Now let's see. Yeah, we have this Sesbania grandiflora standing tall, and the chiku tree here. This is the south side, and this is the east side. East and south. And now we'll go to the west. Now as we go, the moringa tree, the Holoctalia integrifolia, and then the papaya, and this is a dead guava tree which was from Allahabad. It bore good fruit, but now it's gone. And this is Sitafal, which has survived the attack of the nematodes. This guava couldn't survive, and we planted another guava recently here. That too was taken up by the nematodes. So nematode is another very interesting model which the Cube Home Lab is studying. I thought I'd just mention how these animal models are disrupting our plant models. Now this is of course a pomegranate, which seems to be the national, or rather the state fruit of Telangana. Does very well here and sells well. And yeah, there is the Parkia, which we wanted to show, our organ transplant model. I don't know whether we can see it from here. Yeah, this thing is also kind of blocking the view. Yeah, new leaves have come up. I had published some pictures where they were just budding, but this transplant has done really well. It was a big tree when we brought it, and now the leaves have come up. Now here's this plant model of vasculopathy which we had earlier shared, and it's probably due to the heat stress. This is an avocado tree, and you can see the gangrene which is set in here, and you can also see the demarcation line of the gangrene, you see. And here's our animal models. They've woken up from their 10 a.m. sleep now, and they have come here. So in fact, I was thinking that I'll end the video and show them sleeping, but they seem to have suddenly woken up. Now, yeah, as I was talking about the vasculopathic model, you can see the gangrene and how it is affecting the leaves here. And of course, the topmost leaves have taken the largest amount of stress, and they're all gone, dead. And lots of vessels, I mean the limbs have been become gangrenous, but I guess they will shed off on their own. And it's very similar to a animal model which we call as Einham in human biology. There is this way of developing a reduced vascular supply to tissue, especially the limbs, and then it just falls off. So this seems to be similar to this plant model here. Now this is of course a Sesbania grandiflora tree, which actually got not chopped off, but it broke off during a storm, which even destroyed these window panes with a hailstorm, and it just landed up in our terrace, thankfully. And all you have now is a creeper growing on top of it. So there are some creepers here, and yes, this is our plant model of the mulberry tree. And the mulberry fruiting is in season now, April, and yeah, you can see all of them here. Lots of mulberries picking up steam, and soon they'll be darkening and we'll be enjoying their taste. Another sitafal here, that's custard apple, very common, and we can spot an animal model of a sparrow here. We have helped them to make their home around. I'll show you. And yeah, this is the sparrow again. Not sure whether it's catching in the video. Yeah, here's the dwelling that we have helped them to make. You can see some twigs inside. Yeah, you can see the twigs here. This is the thing. Yeah, so some plant and animal models. This is the moringa tree again, lots of them fruiting now. And yeah, this is the Gravia asiatica, which we have published before, and we have been talking about recently about flowering and fruiting together. And you can see the fruits here well, but yeah, it'll take some time to ripen, and they are the most favorite of the birds. The first 2 years we just couldn't even taste them, because they would always catch them before us. There's a canistel plant from Malaysia, and this is a lemon tree which has been flowering as well as fruiting at the same time. You can see the lemons fruiting here. Same tree, lots of thorns. Yeah, one more lemon here, fruit, and the flowers are here, as well as here. You can see the flower here. I can see the fruit here, and yeah. Oh, yeah, you can see the Annona plant model. One of them is hanging down there. You know, this is also called as the Hanuman Phal or the Lakshman Phal. It is. This is a relative of Sitaphal, type of Annona. Now this is the Hamelia patens, which is flowering as well as fruiting. We had a very nice animal model of a beehive here earlier, and now you can see that it's only flowering and fruiting. Yeah, you can see the fruiting here. It's ripening these fruits. The tulsi, and here's a beautiful Himalayan Brahma Kamal, gifted by one of our students. Fantastic. I mean, it hasn't flowered yet, but yeah, we are expecting it anytime. This is the Chaya Mansa we got, and it has kind of predictably, grown very, very invasively. Now, here's the plant model that cubists have been studying a lot, the mango seasonomics model. So cubists are looking at the flowering and fruiting patterns of mango, and in various places in India, and it's very interesting to follow them as they take you throughout all parts of India, different users, cubists from Assam, from West Bengal, from Uttar Pradesh, from Maharashtra, Goa, Kerala. Everybody is sharing their mango plants, and we are just sharing our home lab mango plants here. Yeah, you can see some of them. Yeah, actually we made this into a preterm labor and abortion model, where we showed a lot of mangoes had to just die off, possibly due to the heat stress, and we reviewed some literature about how the auxins are kind of influencing it. But yeah, these are the remaining survivors whom we hope to taste once they are ripened well enough. Other than the moringa, here you have this Flucortia tree, Flucortia jangoma, I think. Yeah, and they haven't done well. These three were all males, it turned out, although they have a way to pollinate themselves as well, dioecious and monoecious. Now but they couldn't fruit at all. Now this is a bakul tree, Mimosops elingi. Now very, very common tree in India, and it has grown in the last 3-4 years well. You can see the fruit flowering here. It hasn't fruited yet, so the flowering is here all over, but it hasn't fruited yet well. And then we move to the other part, which is the smaller plant models. Here's a very interesting thing we noticed today morning itself, where the creeper is clinging on to the stick we planted just today morning. Before that, it was not clinging, and in a few minutes it started winding it up the stick. So it's a kind of a Taxus model. Yeah, the curry leaves are doing well. They're flowering as well here. Yeah, there's some animal models here for the sparrows. This one hasn't been taken yet. This one has. And then there's this also. which was taken and currently is not. We have these pois growing here, and lots of these seeds are germinating now and starting to form saplings. This is the east part of the garden, where you can see the Chayamansa has taken over, and there's this chiku and the bananas and the beautiful interesting taro plant, where we eat the root of this plant, and it's very tasty, and there's still more, lots of roots going down, which we have to take out and cut and see. The papayas, yeah, this is a very common plant which is supposed to drive off mosquitoes. I'm forgetting the name. So this is of course Glyricedia CPM, another transplant model, where we had just broken off a branch and planted it, and now it has grown like anything. So Glyricedia CPM is known for that, very well proliferating. And here we have the pomegranates, again probably the national fruit and plant of Telangana, does very well here. So that's about it, I guess. Yeah, this is the east part, and this was the jujube plant, which is currently, it started flowering again. You can see the small flowers. That's a very common fruit here in India. It's a berry, and the Indian jujube, as they call it, or in Bengali they call it kool. So bear in Hindi. And yeah, this is a sitafal again. This is another beautiful anona, is known as the ramfal. Yeah, you have Sita, you have Lakshman, and now you have Ram here. And this generally is supposed to be very salty. I don't know why. Maybe Bengalis call it nona fal, but who knows, maybe they're calling it due to anona and they made it nona, because this fruit turned out to be very sweet actually, much to our surprise and pleasant surprise. So this is of course Pongamia pinnata. We have had this other animal model where it's a plant model of chronobiology and seasonomics. We have published it earlier. We'll share the links along with this video, hopefully. Yeah, and that's more or less it. Most of the biodiversity is going away from this place rapidly.